Talk about the meet, how team is feeling, how you're feeling going into it.
It's just another step along the way. We last regular season meet at home. Great opportunity to get on the course. Biggest field we've ever had for the Barrios meet. I think it's at 43 schools. I believe that works out. I believe there's 42 women's teams and maybe 40 men's teams or something like that. So it's pretty good sized field. We've got Ohio State coming here for the first time. That's exciting to have them here. Florida's coming back after not being here last year. They're back. Lipscomb, who won, I think they won both divisions. They definitely won the women's race last year. They're back. They've got a strong women's team. I think that's on the border being a nationally ranked team. Ohio State is nationally ranked. I think Florida might be right there. They're returned pretty good team. We obviously got LSU coming in from the SEC. We got Vanderbilt coming from the SEC. They've got a solid women's program. Got Baylor, TCU, a lot of the in-state schools, Texas Tech coming. So it should be good. It's good test for our kids, getting in a big field. And we experienced that 2 weeks ago at Paul Short up in Pennsylvania, where we had a big 400-plus runner field, and we kind of got lost a little bit in the field. This gives us another opportunity to kind of to do that at home, and our see how we react. I've given them some things to work on. Obviously we want to race well here because every meet's important to us, but the reality is our schedule is, in cross country, the entire SEC schedule is the conference meet. So we're going to do a few things this week to prepare us to be better 2 weeks from now, hopefully.
Do you guys have, I guess this is the last home meet before regionals, which is at home.
Yep.
Do you guys have any strategy, especially coming after this past meet with such a large field?
Yep.
Do you guys have a set, go out and do this?
We've talked about some things. I tell our kids all the time that the tough part about having a racing plan is that you're hoping, if you plan too specific, you're assuming there's going to be a lot of cooperation from all the other teams, and that's not the way it always works out. So yes, we have some definite things we want to work on. It's not going to take a rocket scientist to figure those things out. We're trying to get out a little bit better and get in better position early in the race. But we're not the only team trying to do that. I'm sure on the women's side, I've talked to 3 different coaches. That's exactly their same strategy too. So if there's 15 other coaches I haven't talked to that are trying to do the same thing, all of a sudden we're all trying to do the same thing. So we'll see how it works out. And that's why it's a great thing about these kind of meets. There's a little bit of chaos involved, and you got to get comfortable with the chaos. If you're comfortable with the chaos and keep your head about you and your wits about you, when things are going crazy, then you're gonna race okay. So I'm sure when. I don't know what anybody envisioned when we built this course initially. I know I envisioned having big meets on this course and hopefully eventually hosting the NCAA championships. But this is the kind of meet, it's inching up there better. We kind of took a dip when we had COVID, and the meets had to be smaller. And then last year we kind of started to rebound, and now this is taking it to an entirely different level. So, I'm just really excited we have this course. We can do some things on this course that we don't have to worry about hopping in a plane, flying anywhere this weekend. We can sleep in our own beds, and we got 40 plus teams that want to come race here. So I can't complain about that. That's for sure.
Yeah. So this is the Arturo Barrios meet. Can you talk about kind of who he is and what he means to the program?
Arturo Barrios is the greatest distance runner to come through Texas A&M. If you look at all of the success he had, both as a collegian, but even more so as a post-collegian. Obviously, world record holder in the 10K, world record holder, I think, in the hour run. I was telling the kids the other day, and we had our whole track and field team in here, when I was their age, when I was a college student athlete, if you were a distance runner and you were paid attention at all to the sport, everybody knew who Arturo Barrios was, because he was one of the best in the world. Performed at a high level for a long, long time, represented Mexico many times now as a U.S. citizen that lives in Colorado, and has been really, like all Aggies, has been incredibly successful after college as well. And so, yeah, he means a lot. He came back to the first Barrios meet. We hope that this meet honors him. I hope he feels honored. I think he does. Came back the first year we hosted it, and I think he enjoyed the experience being back here and seeing all the changes in College Station. we've made a lot of changes since then too, so it'd be nice to get him, maybe we can get him back here in a few years and he can see how much more this campus has grown, this community has grown, so yeah, it's great naming it after him, and for me it was actually, meeting him for the first time when we did host the meet was kind of like, hey, if I go back and talk to the 18-year-old self and say, hey, you're going to go out to dinner with Arturo Barrios, I would say, man, that'd be pretty cool, so yeah, he's an Aggie legend, and anything we can do to honor Aggie legends is always a positive.